Night of the Scorpion is another great poem from Cluster 1, so we're going to pick out the main points, or some of the main points that you could actually talk about. This is not a video meant to introduce to what the poem is actually about. I'm presuming from here that you actually know that. I'm just going to pick out a load of things that you could actually compare to some other poem if you so wished. Okay, so one of the first meanings that we actually get through here is basically the idea of childhood memories, something that we can all tap into. We know that from the idea, I remember the night, from right at the beginning. So he's going back to like a childish remembrance, etc. Also, we know it's childlike from the idea that he's got these throwing giant scorpion shadows around, and so basically that's another childhood memory. Basically they seem giant to him because he was so small. One of the other meanings that actually gives us throughout here gives us a representation, a feeling, an idea of village life. So we find the peasants come around and they buzz through. We actually know what kind of, how people actually store things, and how they actually have sacks of rice, etc. in this village life, in this certain place. We also hear about the religious inclinations that obviously people may have within the village, etc. And also maybe some of the unconventional ways of living that would just seem a bit strange to us, but obviously completely normal to the people there. And then perhaps here the clicking of the tongues could be referencing a language, but it might be just simply referencing them tutting or hoping for something else, etc. But all of this is things that we could pick out to support the idea that this is about village life. Another thing that we can actually say it's about is religion, superstition, and good versus evil. So we've got the idea of the scorpion, and it's called diabolical, and obviously the word diablo, where diabolical, the Latin origins of those words come together, is basically the devil. So obviously this creature is supposed to be evil, and different religions have different views on snakes and scorpions in particular, saying that they are actually companions of the devil, etc. in certain cultures. So we've got as well the name of God mentioned, and the evil one, the devil, etc. And then we've got all this religious kind of praying for you. May, he says still, may, this is the people here praying, etc., etc. And the words, evil is actually used throughout, etc. So you've got dozens and dozens of references to that, which help you support the idea that this is about religion and superstition. Images. We get this great image again of the giant scorpion that's actually thrown up on the wall there. That's actually quite terrifying, and it shows the child's point of view. We've got the buzzing peasants. Buzzing can actually be taken in two ways there, where they could actually, here we go, they've got the peasants and they're buzzing there. This could actually be spiritual, just consider he's saying something like, oh, forgive God, forgive God, forgive, or it can just be the foolish. He might actually just see them as mindless and stupid, just following something that's not worth believing in. An interesting idea, because he himself apparently was an atheist, so maybe that is the idea that was taken from. The images, of course, we've got is a dark, rainy night. What else would it be if something bad was happening? That's a classic representation of evil being on its way. Where was it? Yeah, he risked the rain again, etc. And we've got the steady rain there. Both of them actually giving us the idea that we're at night and it's actually raining. With images, we've got the attempts at care. So basically here, the father actually going through all of this, trying to actually save his mother. And then this really, really interesting image of the flame feeding on my mother. It's quite a powerful image. I'm sure no one wants to see. It sticks quite strongly in the head. And then the image of this mother thanking God genuinely at the end. We've also got lots of language use. First of all, there's a very kind of lack of dramatic way in which he says it parts with its poison right all the way up here. It's actually a significant moment, and it seems to be almost friendly rather than vicious. So the writer's actually just reading it, kind of trying to be, the writer's writing it, being very kind of in the middle, not being too emotional one way or the other, and which makes the all the movements of everyone else around him even stupider. So from his point of idea, he sees it part with his poison, even though he does describe it quite vividly in the line after. But just the way he's put it is quite sincere and basically balanced. We've got the alliteration of, again, the flame feeding. It's very smooth sounding, which is probably representative and indicative of the fire's actions smoothly feeding when it's presented. You've got the list of three mentioned. The father skepto rationalist shows normally how kind of well and put together he is, and all of a sudden this is obviously thrown him completely into a bit of delirium, worrying about his wife. And it shows that it's a powerful memory. It shows how powerful the memory is to the writer even after all these years. And we've got the simile about the peasants. They came like swarms of flies, which is right here. And again, this just shows us the speed and number of the peasants, and how probably intimidating it was for the little boy just watching them all just kind of go into such a strange delirium. With worry made him worry even more. Excuse the spelling mistakes here. I had a student type this up for me, and obviously they've tried hard, but not perfectly. Some of this structure actually here, one of the things is obviously it's one long stanza, which shows this is a recollection. Basically, he's not trying to slowly piece it all together. It's just maybe like a thought that's coming to him, rather than being broken down into specific stanzas of equal weight. It shows that it's just one long monologue in that sense. We've got the idea is coming from the child's point of view, so then it kind of has an innocence, and it's kind of got a detachment to it, because it's not by the people who are actually suffering in it. And we've got lots and lots of enjambment in the structure as well to actually emphasize certain words. So for example, the idea here of flash, that's the enjambment there, is actually to make sure that we really concentrate on that word, and it gets its full due in the sentence. Makes it really stand out to us more. And then what kind of things does it make us think about? The effect on us? Well, basically it makes us consider village life in other countries, wonder what it's like, wonder how people live, wonder the dangers they actually succumb to, and what people do without proper medical care. It gives us an idea also of what we do for those people that we care for, what lengths we go to, as we've seen the father go through here. Makes us consider the power and the fallacy. Fallacy basically means the untruth, the not true, the falseness of religious activities. Was this really all getting better because of all the prayers, or in spite of all the prayers, etc.? Did they have an effect? So the writer is giving this to us for us to actually consider. So that's a quick breakdown of the poem, and obviously there's loads of other things that you could pick out that your teacher may have picked out for you. But if you've got these 15, then you're going to be in good stead to be ready to compare it to any poem.